I think once you get familiar with the movement, it opens your mind and allows you to be more accepting of other people's beliefs. When I went to Turkey to visit Ep.259. I think the way they emphasize education is very conducive to teaching. My name is Carole Hayes. I was born in Washington, D.C., and went to university in the D.C. area, George Mason University. And then I went to law school and relocated to Greenville, South Carolina, where I've had a private practice for 25 years. And in this private practice, I have the opportunity to meet people from all over the world, represent people from all over the world because they move here. My overall opinion of the Hizmet movement is I think it's going to take a movement such as the Hizmet movement to get to where this world needs to be in order to live and to coexist amongst all of us human beings, because we have so many different beliefs, religions, cultures, politics. The list is endless. The common thread that can pull us together and unite us and allow us to live peacefully is the fact that we are all, at the end of the day, human beings. And I believe that if we educate ourselves and open ourselves up to meaningful dialogue and a desire to understand each other, that we can then have a united nation. And I believe the Hizmet movement gives us the ability and arms us with the knowledge to do that. I was introduced to Mr. Gulen's works again after having been invited to Turkey, and I have read his one of his books, Love and Tolerance, and I find that when I finish reading that particular book, I immediately again begin reading it. I find him inspirational beyond words. Certainly one person cannot change this world. The ability he has to inspire people and bring people together is what's going to change this world. And he basically is the architect of this entire movement. I think that his movement, the movement that he began, is what's going to be necessary to get where we need to in this world. I think the movement is what it's going to take to bring people together and be open and to learn how to do that. I mean, I think once you get familiar with the movement, it opens your mind and allows you to be more accepting of other people's beliefs. The movement is not about converting people to how you see things, or converting someone's politics or religion. Or it's not about that. It's about understanding yourself and then being able to understand and accept the philosophies and politics and religions and everything else that everyone else has, all their beliefs. And it enables you, once again, at the end of the day, to see that Muslims, for example, and Catholics, I am an American Catholic, we're really not all that different. If you really understand Catholicism and you really understand the Muslim nation and their beliefs, we're really not all that fundamentally different. And that's where we need to get to in this world. It needs to be a global movement. And it's not going to stop with Mr. Gulen's generation or my generation or the next generation. This is the beginning. This is the beginning, and it is a good beginning. The Hizmet movement is representative of Islam, in short, I believe, because they are both primarily based upon love and acceptance. They're both, the philosophies of the movement are very consistent with the teachings of Islam, the Islamic thoughts, and I think they're very consistent with each other. And I also think the Islamic movement is consistent with many other religions and beliefs, such as Catholicism, which just goes back, in my opinion, to show that really, regardless of from where you come, that we are all very similar. This does not need to be a nation of individuals trying to coexist together. I mean, we can do so in harmony and very easily if we just arm ourselves with the knowledge that it takes. I think their activities are critical to moving this movement forward. I think the activities it brings people together in various different fashions, such as the Table of Abraham, which is in I know we've got a chapter in South Carolina, and it brings people together to speak and have meaningful discussions and dialogue and learn about each other, regardless of a specific religion or a specific background, which is key to the movement. I have had an opportunity when I went to Turkey to visit a Hizmet school, and it was after hours, so there were a few children there. Actually, they were out in the playground, interacting very happily and peacefully as children do, and it was a pleasure to see that. And I met some of the teachers who were very excited about being there and helping the children. And I think their emphasis on education is, I think the way they emphasize education is very conducive to teaching that, once again, humanity is first and our similarities are there, and that we can all peacefully interact together with love and understanding. And I think that's the fundamental approach that their educational system provides. I think the Hizmet charitable contributions are incredible. They have been there for the United States many times during recent natural disasters. In particular, I recall Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans and the relief and offerings they made during that crisis. I think it's beautiful because it inspires it inspires all of us as individuals and other charitable organizations to follow suit, regardless of whether you come from a Muslim background, or again a Catholic background, or a Jewish background. It's all about, once again, your fellow human beings and assisting one another. I understand those criticisms. I was born in Washington, D.C., which is basically a melting pot. So growing up, I have always been around people of different ethnicities and religions and cultures. It wasn't until I went to Turkey, though, and found out about the Hizmet movement and Mr. Gulen, that I then had a heightened awareness of what it's going to take to change this world. And in the beginning, when I was introduced to or asked to go to Turkey, I was suspicious about it. I was confused. I didn't really believe the movement and the people could really be that good, for lack of a better word, and that desirous of making this whole world a better place. But after meeting them, after spending time with them, it has truly touched me on a cellular level. It has changed the way that I act and think on a daily basis, which is profound, That trip to Turkey and meeting the Turkish people, in fact, was not a trip or a holiday. It was an experience, and it was a life-altering experience. To people who criticize the Hizmet movement, I would say they are not knowledgeable regarding it. I cannot imagine anybody knowing about the movement and criticizing the movement. I would ask that they give me a specific criticism to see if I can address it, because I can't imagine not being able to do so. The movement is only a positive, open, loving movement that wants people and this world to get along as a united nation. And how can that possibly be criticized? I have been to Turkey, and I take a lot of what I experienced with me as I live my life every day. It was without a doubt the most profound experience I have ever had in my life, and I've done some fair amount of traveling. The reason I say that is because of the people that I met there. We had an opportunity, our group, to go to individuals' homes for dinners and to sit down and to spend quality time with the people. The Islams and the people involved with the movement, obviously, and there would be generations of family living together in these homes, and the love that was in these homes and between these people was something I have never seen before. It was incredible. Turkey is a beautiful, beautiful place, not just aesthetically and the grounds and such, but the people that are there, the strangers that you meet in the bazaars. I mean, they're just loving, and you can just, you feel it and you sense it, and you want it to be a part of your life as well.
It's really developing humans, having humans join a movement to help others, not expecting anything but to give a lot, and the return is not important.
If these people are friendly, they are caring, they are loving, they are understanding, then certainly somebody who inspired them to do this must be very great. Fethullah Gulen is a distinguished personality.